Never worry again about sales tax with DAVO by Avalara. From collecting to filing to paying, DAVO works seamlessly with your POS, backed by a guarantee that your taxes will be paid on time and in full. You take care of the business, we'll take care of the sales tax.
All right, I'm sitting down with Bryon Kunkel of Cake by Mad Mobile and Cristine Vickery of DAVO by Avalara. Guys, thanks for sitting down with me.
Great to be here. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk about the ways in which you guys are working together. And I do want to start just by talking about the individual pieces of this. Let's start, Bryon, with you and Cake. Can you talk to me a little bit more about what Cake's all about?
Yeah, so Cake is an all-in-one POS, or point of sale. And we're a system that's powerful enough to run a restaurant, yet a system that is simple enough for really anyone to implement or to use. And we're excited while we're here at the show. I'll do a little plug, but we just are releasing our latest line of hardware with our new partner, ELO. And so there's a lot of emphasis right now on, say, handhelds or mobile devices. But we've got a completely new line of commercial products that are made to be used in the restaurant that we're excited to showcase. But as far as some of the services that we offer, a lot changed over the last 2 years. And where we had seen resistance to embrace technology in the past, it was forced to change both with consumer behaviors and preferences, as well as what a restaurant or an operator was willing to embrace. And so take, for example, when none of us were allowed to eat in person, we learned how to order online where maybe that wasn't the norm in the past. And we learned to be able to go interact with a kiosk and not with somebody in person at a restaurant to get our food. Or maybe we pulled up to the back door and we called that curbside pickup. And I think one of the things that's really neat is that we found that a lot of these operators have found that this has become a durable new revenue stream for them. And so it's not something that was replaced by coming back to having their patrons dine in person, but this is something where these behaviors have stuck, and now we're seeing this is becoming more the norm. So when somebody goes into a restaurant, it doesn't feel as uncomfortable anymore when someone takes their order tableside, or maybe you take that payment tableside, or you now order at a kiosk and you no longer feel uncomfortable not ordering in front of a person. And one of the things that we're seeing in the industry, I don't think it's necessarily just with us, but ticket values go up. We're seeing as much as 30% when people order on their own, when they order online, and when they happen to order using a tableside device. But then other things also happen. The propensity for error is lessened because you don't have someone with poor handwriting like me trying to write it down on a piece of paper, go back, physically enter it into a point of sale. So we're doing a lot of really neat things. We encourage folks to come by and see us. We're on booth number 6279. See some of the latest and greatest technology. But then other things, some cool things we're working on. Cristine is going to talk a little bit about DAVO. But some of the neat things we're doing right now, we've got something we refer to as Cake Capital. So we have a lending platform for operators. Pretty neat. What we can do is we can give you an instant quote for money that you can advance to invest in your business. Maybe you need one of these new robots that's just across the way, or maybe you need a robot arm for your fryer. We can help give you an instant approval based on your daily sales to be able to advance cash and for you to help you to run your business. But then also working on things like guest management, reservations, loyalty programs and services. So we've got a lot to offer and a comprehensive system to be able to help our operators run more profitable and efficient businesses.
Yeah. So Cristine, tell us about DAVO by Avalara.
Well, it's really very symbiotic to what Cake is doing, in the sense that we want it to be very easy for the restaurateur to focus on their business. And DAVO, what DAVO does through the integration is DAVO reaches into Cake at the end of the business day in the wee hours of the morning, pulls down the transactions for that day and the sales and sales tax. And then we do via an ACH request, we move the sales tax dollars out of the restaurant's bank account. We set it aside in a secure tax withholding account. And that way we do that every single day. So we do that daily cash flow management of sales tax. And then we have the money to pay and file correctly on time. And it takes that very manual process out of the restaurateur's task list, but it's also something that tends to fall through the cracks and not be well managed. And or if if they, for some reason, needed something during the tax period, something like maybe this sales tax came due on the same day that payroll is due, or maybe they needed a new refrigerator, oven, freezer, something very expensive. Oftentimes that sales tax, those dollars are sitting in their bank account and they get used. And then when they go to pay their sales tax, if they're late, the sales tax penalties and fees can be anywhere between 20 and 30%. And it snowballs, because by the time, if you're behind and you can't pay that sales tax period, you're already behind and into the next sales tax period,
Yeah.
whether it's a month or a quarter. And that can really put a restaurant at risk. And sales tax is one of those things that if, heaven forbid, the business closes, it follows that business owner personally.
Oh, wow.
And it's really quite a serious risk. And it's something that the state expects restaurants to do for free. They don't get paid to do this job for the state. So they're collecting all this and managing all this money for them, and they don't get paid, and it doesn't add to their business, and it doesn't help them hire somebody new. There's no sense in doing that. And so integrated with Cake, it's just perfect to get those back office things that distract from the business and could be risk, so that they're well taken care of with Cake's point of sale. And it's very, very, very good solution. And removing that risk, I was a franchise owner, not of a restaurant, and I would have loved it, because I made the decision to actually not pay my sales tax and use the money sometimes, and I would pay the penalties and fees, which is, and especially if you're a new restaurateur, you don't realize this is going to happen. So getting that correct behavior in place before the business has been going very long is also very important. And in 27 states, you're actually paying on time, then you get a rebate. And so DAVO makes sure you get that rebate. It makes DAVO free in some states or discounted in some of them.
Wow.
As well.
It's funny because we throw around the word automation a lot, and people, when they think automation, they think robots or something. But what's funny is this is actually automation in a way that is, you don't really see it, but that's the point. You're not thinking about it, and there's an efficiency here too, right? So, I mean, really, what are you trying to help solve for the restaurant operator with this? Because they have so many things going on. It just feels like this, you're taking one thing off their plate, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we take that. And it's funny because when we get comments from our customers and they say things like, you kept me out of jail, you saved my marriage, I sleep better at night. When you think about those three comments, those are all personal. They're not business related. And so it shows you how much this really sits on their mind and their shoulders. And taking that off makes taxing, what is it that makes sales tax less taxing? And we take care of it for them.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we love with DAVO as a partner, and our customers have come to appreciate, is that most of the interaction with a point of sale, traditionally you would think of the interactions associated with ordering and serving food. And as Cristine mentioned, what this does is this helps to tackle one of those tedious responsibilities as a business owner that most people don't want to spend a lot of time or attention to try to manage, because the reality is what they should be doing is getting back to those interactions of patrons ordering and their staff serving food. And this helps to really take away the need to do that manual work, because the complexities behind the scene really make this quite simple with minimal effort.
Right.
To file and to pay your taxes.
So all Cake clients have access to the DAVO? Is that how this integration works?
Yeah, great question. So all clients do have access. Really easy to implement. Cristine knows best because her team helps to onboard customers. But really simple process, and all customers have access to the DAVO suite of services.
Gotcha. So Bryon, talking a little bit about the point of sale today. What we're seeing right now in the industry is a lot more emphasis on value. And I'm curious, how the Cake solution really helps restaurants be able to provide value through the service experience, not necessarily a price point, which of course we all associate with value, but really the value of a fast, easy, convenient experience. Can you talk about how you guys can help provide that?
Yeah, so we've all heard in multiple or varying industries, customers or people want to be met where they want to be met, and they want to choose how they pay for a service, or how they order, or even obtain a service. And I think one of the things that's really helped with the whole service component, I think both for the operator but as well as for the customers or the patrons, is that you can choose to get your favorite. I heard about this fried chicken that I need to try while I'm here. Love some good fried chicken. But you can order the fried chicken online, and you can use one of the third-party delivery services that are integrated to the point of sale to receive that food. You can order it online. You can pick it up at the restaurant. You can walk into the restaurant. You can order at a kiosk. You can order, if it's a dining establishment, where you can walk in and order the food in person. You have the choice to use, again, a handheld device if the wait staff is able to take your order and your payment there tableside. But also, you even take it a step further, what we've done is made it more convenient with things like QR codes. So if you don't want to wait for the server and you don't want that personal interaction, you pull out your phone, you scan the QR code, you place your order, take the payment. So we've really tried to make it simple and a good experience. So not only for the operator, but for the customer as well, so that it's a pleasurable dining experience. And ultimately, we want those customers to come back, order more of that fried chicken, and keep all of us in business. And
I think it's great that the customer can choose how they want to interact and how they're most comfortable. I think that speaks well.
yeah, and that didn't so much used to be the case, but now there are so many different ways to interact with your favorite restaurant. We're really making it simple, and it's up to that operator to be able to provide as many choices as they choose to be able to give that consumer a lot of choice.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, so then Cristine, flipping that question a little bit, value, of course, we talk about in the customer standpoint, but it seems like too what DAVO is doing, there's value to the operator, right? And by providing value to the operator, maybe they can better provide value to their customer. Can you talk about how DAVO focuses on that?
Yeah, and it frees up their time, and when they take things that they don't need to do off their plate, I mean, let's think about it. I mean, sales tax is essential. You have to do it. But why should you spend, if someone were to spend every single day pulling down their sales and sales tax and then moving the money themselves, think about how that impacts their business. And that'd be the same service manually that we do. And then having to file and pay it, making sure it's correct, etc. And taking that time, giving that back to the operator, that whether it's for their family, whether it's for thinking about which technologies to offer, whether it's looking at their menu items and looking at their profitability, they can spend more time focusing on making their business successful, getting more customers in the door, figuring out what's working well for them and how to grow it and scale that. This is essentially giving that back to the operator while removing the risk of getting behind in sales tax.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the future. And I mean, of course, we're at a show where everybody's trying to see what are the new products, what are the new trends, what's the direction of the industry. Starting with you, Bryon, I mean, what are you seeing for technology trends of the future, ordering trends of the future? What are you looking at right now?
Yeah, so when you look around here, and as we look outside our booth here, we've got robots on the floor. Everybody is offering some form of AI. And we see that as the direction of where this is going. So AI is absolutely going to be involved with not only placing orders, we foresee that coming into the payments. We're already using AI right now for suggestive selling. So if it's online ordering or if it's at a kiosk, you place your order and then it might suggest additional food. Would you like a dessert to go with that? Or would you like a drink to go with that? And so it's already in play with voice for ordering. And one of the things that we're showcasing right now is also the power of AI with reporting. So instead of an operator needing to go in and run reports or use business analytic tools or look at dashboards or export files and put them into a pivot table to try to understand their business, we have an example right now in our booth where you can speak to, just like anybody that's entered a command into ChatGPT, what were the number one sales items? It'll show you the sales items. Okay, now show me by location. And then it'll break it down by location. Actually, I'd like to know, what does that look like by state? Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize this item was so much more popular in one region of the country versus another part of the country. I'd really like to see that in a colorful pie chart. And so what we're able to do is real time be able to digest or ingest anyway this data and use these new tools that are available and really simplify these processes where real time you can ask simple questions and get very, very powerful results that can help you to run your business without having to look at static or dashboards that maybe don't necessarily represent truly what's happening with the business.
Sure. And Cristine, what about you? What are you seeing for the future in the sandbox that DAVO plays in?
Well, I'll tell you, our company, DAVO by Avalara, right? Avalara, what we're seeing for point of sale over in Europe in different areas where they have e-invoicing requirements, which are typically B2B, but now there's fiscalization and then there's live reporting. And in some countries, they're starting to send the data live from the point of sale to the government, either on the fly or at the end of the business day. And eventually things like that are going to probably come to the United States. They'll have that government communication at some point. And, our partners will be learning about the fact that we can actually provide that for them. And that solution is something that Avalara is at the forefront overseas. And we also have someone on the board for the committee in the United States as well for this. So I think that eventually will be here. That's definitely the future.
Okay.
But it will have impact. So it's a little bit outside of DAVO, but the DAVO is definitely, I think it was such a great vision because it was founded by a chef and restaurant owner. The DAV in DAVO is David.
Okay.
And David Joseph is, he's retired now, but I'm so grateful for his forethought in doing this.
Yeah.
And so I think we're already part of the future. And then you have that next level that the United States will probably experience, I don't know, sometime in the next 10 to 20 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating to watch. All right, so anybody who's not at the show right now, how can they find Cake and DAVO? What should they do?
Go ahead, Cristine.
You can go to DAVOsalestax.com. That's it's Dave with an O, DAVO, salestax.com. And just look us up and look for Cake, and you'll see that integration.
Okay.
And Cake by Mad Mobile, likewise. You can find us online. Cake is our restaurant point of sale, and plenty of links and opportunities on there to get in contact with us and to schedule a demo. And for anybody here at the show, we look forward to seeing you in person. Again, we're booth 6279.
Yeah, I'm going to go to his booth. I want to see that AI reporting.
That's good
I
stuff.
can't wait.
Good stuff.
That gives a new meaning to
Good stuff.
be easy to work with. That is
That's right.
fantastic.
That's
Great
exciting.
value delivered.
Well, Bryon, Cristine, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your partnership.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
Really
had a lot of
appreciate
fun.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never worry again about sales tax with DAVO by Avalara. From collecting to filing to paying, DAVO works seamlessly with your POS, backed by a guarantee that your taxes will be paid on time and in full. You take care of the business, we'll take care of the sales tax.